Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Meet the Candidates. My name is Jimmy Tingle. I am the host of this show. We have been doing a Meet the Candidates series every election cycle for the last four, and today it is our pleasure to welcome the mayor of Cambridge, Massachusetts, Mayor Sumbul Siddiqui. She has been serving as mayor since January 6, 2020. She is running for a third term on Cambridge City Council. She is a graduate of Cambridge Public Schools, Brown University, and Northwestern Law. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome the one, the only Mayor Sumbul Siddiqui. Hello, Madam Mayor. How are you today?
Hey, Jimmy. It's so great to be with you.
It's excellent to be with you as well. Thanks so much for joining us today. And I have to ask you, Madam Mayor, in the middle of a pandemic, coming after serving for 2 full terms here in the city of Cambridge, why are you running for a third term in the middle of a pandemic?
It's a great question. For me, I look back at the term that just happened, and I see all the work that we've been able to accomplish, even during a pandemic. And I'm proud of it. And I also realize, wow, there's just so much more to be done. And so I'm really running again because there's so many different issues that the next council will have to deal with. And I want to bring the expertise that I've really developed the last 4 years back to the council.
It takes a little while to learn the ropes, right? As a city council person. And then I imagine it does. Is that your experience?
Yeah, it's a huge learning curve. And, this is my hometown. And so I have some familiarity, but that first term, you're learning the ropes. And then, of course, the second term, I learned how to do a lot really quickly because of the pandemic, but it is a big learning curve. And it takes a little while to get your feet wet. And so the third term, I think, will be even more successful with all the things that I have been able to accomplish the last 4 years.
Right. Madam Mayor, tell me, what was it like when the pandemic hit? I mean, you had only been mayor for 2 months, three months, if that. And all of a sudden we're in the middle of this pandemic. What was that like? I mean, generally speaking, Cambridge seemed to get very high grades on their response. And I know you were at the helm largely that entire time. What was that like?
Yeah, I'll never forget the day that we had to make the decision to close schools. And everyone was like, what are you talking about? But we were literally in a room full of experts from China, from Italy, saying it's going to get worse. You have to, these are the things that you have to do. And so it was a really scary and uncertain time. And I just remember saying, the public is going to look to the mayor's office, right? Yes, you're working very closely with the city manager, of course. And people are going to be looking for the mayor's office for everything, for all the information, for details, for help. And lo and behold, that's what happened. And so we were really quick to relaunch the Mayor's Disaster Relief Fund for COVID-19 specifically. And that fund has raised over $5 million. And that went directly to individuals, to families, to nonprofits, to small businesses. So I'm really proud of that, those first few months where really the goal was to help as many people as possible because there was so much uncertainty and there were a lot of bad things happening. And so it was a very challenging time. It continues to be for many still, but those beginning months, I tell you, I will never forget it. I was constantly in City Hall, sleeping here.
Wow.
And just, we did a lot of work.
Well, thank you so much for all of those efforts. And let me ask you, when you say we raised $5 million, was that private money or was that public money? And how did that come about? And that's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. It started with a $2 million donation from Takeda. And then a $1 million donation from Biogen. So it was really those relationships with these entities in our community. And a lot of the money also came from different, business entities, small donations from individuals. We were getting $5 donations from individuals, just people who wanted to help. And so it really came entirely from the community because, we have something called the anti-aid amendment that we couldn't give cash directly to people and checks out to people. We had to raise money in this way. But I was really happy that we were able to build on that momentum and raise over 5 million.
Wow. I mean, that's pretty significant. Did any other cities even come close to that?
I think other cities and Cambridge did this too. We were able to do, a lot of other things with, rent stabilization and other funds. But this type of fund, I don't think, most cities had.
We're so fortunate in that respect here. And I know because of the resources that we have, we're able to do a lot of things in this city that other cities have not been able to do, and other states aren't even able to do. Tell me, what are the three top things that you're most proud of in your last 2 terms, and what do you hope specifically to accomplish moving forward if you were so fortunate to be reelected?
Yeah, so I think I'm very proud of my role as the chair of the school committee this past term. I think this role is multiple jobs in one, because we were responsible for multiple reopenings. We were responsible to make sure kids could go back to school in person. And it was a really bumpy road. Anyone who tuned into our city school committee meetings, it was really rough. We probably met more than any other school committee in the history of school committees in Cambridge. So there was a lot of work for the schools. And so as chair, really helped navigate us through those reopenings. So I'm proud of that. The second thing I'm really proud of is the fact that for the Range Towers, where I grew up in affordable housing. Recently, we were just able to finalize the deal to keep 504 units at the Range Towers affordable for the next 50 years. So we worked with the owners to do that, and the city's put up, a good amount of money to help maintain and preserve the affordability at these units. The third thing I'm very proud of is the guaranteed income pilot called Cambridge Rise, recurring income for success and empowerment, that my office led. Last year, I joined something called Mayors for Guaranteed Income. And that's how it all started, the whole notion of, and I saw it from the Mayor's Disaster Relief Fund. People really were hurting for that extra money. And so we were able to now provide 130 single caretakers with $500 monthly over 18 months. And this was a big team effort. We worked on this tremendously hard over the last year, and it just got going. And so I'm very proud of those 3 top things. I think looking to the term ahead, I'm looking forward to getting involved in the city manager search. I'm looking forward to taking lead in how the city allocates the ARPA funding, the American Rescue Plan money. It's about $65 million. So
just for our city?
Yeah, just for our city. So how are we going to use that? And I think we have to, do a lot of work around universal pre-K, municipal broadband. So all this money will be, I think, really useful in how we set our goals. And so I'm really excited to help lead that process. In addition to the city manager, we're going to be hiring a city clerk too. So we'll have our hands full.
What is the job of the city clerk? There is not one now?
We do have a city clerk, but he will know his term is ending in June. So we're going to be in double duty of doing a lot of hiring. And so I anticipate that being at the forefront. And of course, I want to work on, issues related to climate change, issues related to addressing homelessness and our unhoused community, issues related to affordable housing. We just passed a policy order around, looking at the property that Lesley University is selling to use for maybe affordable housing, universal pre-K needs. So there's just so much going on. And I really would love the opportunity to be back and continue to deliver results, because as my track record shows, the last term, there's a lot that I've been able to do. I haven't even mentioned a lot of the other things related to finding a new interim superintendent because our superintendent resigned,
right.
to other partnerships. But it's been such an honor. I love being a public servant in my hometown.
Well, thank you so much for that and all of that. You had a very full plate. Let's say that. I'm curious, in terms of a city manager, what are you looking for in the next city manager? And are you interested in rewriting the charter as others have expressed interest in?
Yeah, I've been on the lead on the charter amendment, so definitely I think we should evaluate it. And I think the next city manager, I'd love for the city manager who's coming to really agree with issues around municipal broadband, around universal pre-K, and really help us move the needle and be as aggressive as possible. And I'd love someone who is diverse in many ways, right? We've never had a woman city manager. We've never had a person of color city manager. I think all those attributes are really important. And of course, someone who understands cities and how they work, and especially a unique place around Cambridge. So it's a tall order, but I think someone who is really committed to people at the end of the day.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Madam Mayor, please give us your closing statement. Where is your website? How can people find you? How can they make a large donation to your campaign? How can they make a small donation? How can they volunteer? And how would you like them to vote on Election Day?
Sure. You can visit votesumbul.com for all information related to volunteering, donations, my platform, my policies. It's been an honor to be the mayor during the pandemic, and it's been a lot of work. And I think I've proven that there's a lot of key things that I've been able to do related to helping people in our city. So I'd love that number one vote, because it is the most important. And given how much work I have been able to do, it's been really 3-4 jobs. And I think no one else on the council has been in the same spot as I have, because simply who knew we'd have a once in a lifetime pandemic hitting us. But I really have taken the lead, and I've steered the council and the school committee through some really tough conversations and some tough times. So I'd love that number one vote. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor. And you are correct. You did get very high grades from both all of your colleagues on the council that I spoke to, and the people that have tuned into this show. So continue success. Thank you so much for joining us. And we will see you on the campaign trail. Stay safe.
Thank you.